Hi, I'm Laura. Picture the most dangerous fire threat to your home. You're probably imagining like a towering wall of wildfire cresting a nearby hill, right? Helicopters dropping that neon pink retardant sky completely choked with orange smoke. Yeah, that's the classic apocalyptic image we all have. Exactly. But the data tells a completely different, almost jarring story. Like the candle burning on your dining room table right now or the space heater under your desk. Statistically, individual home fires are far more lethal. It's wild, but it's true. It really is. So welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at this incredibly detailed internal strategy memo. And our mission for you today is to basically decode the hidden, frankly brutal realities of rebuilding in a wildfire zone. Because surviving the fire is really just the beginning, right? I have recently interviewed two experts, Alan, an experienced home builder in modern methods and technology, and Jan, an advocate of the hardened non-combustible home. I will replay their interview and advice in my voice and carry on the conversation as if I am one or the other of them. As we're about to discover from this document, surviving a catastrophic fire is only half the battle. The other half is this high-stakes, agonizing race against insurance clocks, local bureaucratic red tape, and, well, the unforgiving elements themselves. Okay, let's unpack this. Before we even get into how you actually engineer a house to survive the modern climate, we have to understand the actual threat landscape. Yeah, we have to lay that groundwork. And the numbers in this memo completely upend public expectations. Like when you hear about fire danger, you immediately picture those massive wildfires on the news. Right. Because we're incredibly visual creatures. We anchor our fears to those huge, dramatic broadcasts of entire mountainsides ablaze. Exactly. I mean, worrying exclusively about wildfires is kind of like fearing a catastrophic plane crash when your daily commute on the highway is statistically much more dangerous. The memo points out this really sobering statistic of the residential fire numbers. Ordinary residential fires, so we're talking cooking accidents, electrical shorts, and forgotten candles. They actually cause between 2,700 and 3,000 deaths annually in the US. It's a staggering figure. It is. A normal, isolated house fire claims more lives in total every single year than the massive wildfires dominating the headlines. What's fascinating here is how the insurance industry and municipal governments process that concentration of destruction. What do you mean by that? Well, think about an ordinary house fire. It's profoundly tragic, obviously, but it's contained. Yep, it's one house on one street. The local fire department responds within minutes. They put it out. And the surrounding neighborhood, the local tax base, the regional infrastructure, it remains completely intact. Oh, I see, yeah. Wildfires operate on a totally different mechanical scale. They are catastrophic, single-event wipeouts. They don't just take a piece off the board. They flip the entire board over. That is the perfect way to put it. That's the crucial distinction. When a wildfire hits populated areas, specifically what urban planners call the wildland-urban interface, you know, those beautiful neighborhoods built right up against forests or canyons. Right, the really scenic areas. Right, the really scenic areas. Exactly. When a fire hits there, it can consume thousands of homes simultaneously. The emergency response infrastructure is just instantly overwhelmed. There aren't enough trucks in the world to handle that. Precisely. Furthermore, the memo highlights a really critical nuance. For the individuals who actually live in those wildfire-prone areas, the death rate per person is significantly higher. I get it. The threat is highly concentrated, so the overall total is lower, but the localized risk is massive. That concentrated risk to both life and massive swaths of property is what really drives the extreme regulations for rebuilding, which honestly opens the door to a truly dark reality outlined in the source material. Let's say the absolute worst happens.